Well, here's my question of the day for you as I share my own guilty pleasures for summer. Just small and maybe even large ways that you can enhance the quality and the experience of your summer season. So let me know in the comments below what little guilty pleasures, simple treats, or little indulgences that you want to share with the rest of us. Well, today I thought we would do something a little bit different because it's very windy outside, but just a little bit of fun. And what I'm going to talk about today are some guilty pleasures that I have indulged in here recently. Most of them are very, very inexpensive, but they have drastically improved the quality of my life on a day-to-day basis. Just simple little guilty pleasures. Starting out with number one, this massive bouquet of white carnations. I know a lot of people think that carnations are a little bit commonplace, a little bit ho-hum, but let me tell you, Susu, Stuart's mom, was over here and we were smelling the clove-like fragrance of these, which is just so intense. The other thing is, you talk about value for your buck. This is, I think, 3 or 4 different bouquets of it. Different clumps of it that I got at Trader Joe's, and this is week number 3. That's how long they last. So definitely you get a wonderful return on your investment. And yeah, I can cut lots of things from my garden, and obviously I do, and you know that I do, but they don't last very long. These have a distinct fragrance that I absolutely adore. I love the way they look in this kind of bubbly cachepot. I got this from H&M, I believe. I don't even know if it's still available, but definitely, whether it's at Trader Joe's, your grocery store, your florist, wherever you like to buy your flowers, definitely I think white carnations, or maybe all pink carnations, or one tone would be absolutely gorgeous in moss in any kind of vase or basket that you put it in. And this one has been residing on my kitchen table, and I love the fragrance every time I stroll through my breakfast room. So that is number 1. Okay, number 2 also is a Trader Joe's indulgence, and I just discovered them. And sadly, I would give Stuart's mom and Stuart a taste of them, but oh no. I have consumed every one of these butter cookies from Trader Joe's. They're absolutely, oh my gosh, they are just decadent. They are brilliant with a cup of tea in the afternoon. Stuart and I sometimes will have meetings, we'll have lattes, and they are just wonderful with something like that. And not to sound kind of hoity-toity, but it's a practice that well, Hubs doesn't do it. I do it. But we went to Africa on our honeymoon, and very much we had in the late afternoon every day on that safari. It was a 3-week walking safari. We had tea, and we would stop in the afternoon. We would have different kinds of hot beverages and hot tea, and there would always be some kind of delicious pastry. And I kind of got in the habit of that. And since my the valley of my biorhythm over the course of the day are about 3 to 4 o'clock, which I think is traditionally, Susu, is it traditionally when tea is served? And so for me, it's just a way to kind of break up the day a little bit, to sit down, treat myself with maybe a bit of chocolate or a cup of hot tea. And I just find it a lovely kind of gracious way to have the afternoon. The other thing that was fun about it is it reminds me of my boys growing up, because they would get home from school and sometimes I would serve tea. I called it yummy tea, and it had cream in it and honey, and they really liked it. And when they're sick now, they still request yummy tea. And in the afternoon, we would do that when they got home from school, which was about that time when they were in elementary school. So I highly recommend these. And if you can't find these, then be on the lookout. It will be a fun endeavor for this summer. Be on the lookout for something that is really a treat to you, that you only allow yourself 1 or 2 of at a very specific time of day, as a little treat and guilty pleasure for making it to that point in the afternoon.
I've had the.
Have you had these?
Just the butter. They sell the butter like peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
So you can just buy it and spread on sandwiches and stuff. And I don't remember how long ago it was, but yeah, I mean it's good.
Oh, I would not let that in my house. I would not even allow that in my house because that would just be more than I can resist. But I am somebody who loves shortbread, and that it was just one of my favorite things and one of my favorite discoveries. And a lot of times, if somebody is going through a hard time, or sometimes they might just be down in the dumps or whatever, I will put a basket of comforts together with tea and different kinds of things, sometimes a really good novel or something. And definitely this is going to be now as part of my formula, my recipe for putting together those care baskets or those smile baskets if somebody is feeling a little bit low, because these are divine.
And we're good. We'll keep going. Just slide your mic behind you for me.
Okay.
Just so it's not laying right next to you.
So,
perfect.
So I digress. Okay, let me go on.
Yeah, sorry,
I should have done that, and it is glaring on a white sofa, but
that was for you, not for
real
me.
world, real time. Okay, this next thing kind of is an extension of our thrifting trip that Stuart and I took to Goodwill, because I was looking for a number of different things on my list, as was he. And one of the things is when we shoot, he's got all sorts of devices that he's got multiple mics and different things in addition to his camera, blah, 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 blah. And he was wanting a fanny pack to kind of corral everything. And we were looking for one at Goodwill. But I recommended, well, first of all, and this is a charming little antidote. So I got a message from a manager at Goodwill in Atlanta. I believe it was Atlanta. He's in management there, and he said that he has a fanny pack from
So
Goodwill
awesome.
that he found for Stuart, and if we just sent him the address, he would mail it. Now, how kind is that? But I also recommended. I am not somebody who is huge on logos or things like that, but I have found that most of the things within the Lululemon line, that's an alliterative difficulty to say. Within the Lululemon line, I typically really like their products, and it was my daughter-in-law that exposed me to them. And I found, because actually I think it was my trainer that recommended this, a belly pack, or it can also be used, you can put it over your shoulder, which is when I'm out and about. For example, when you and I went to Goodwill, I had it, and I had it over my shoulder. You can wear it different ways, but I had it over my shoulder. That's typically how you see men wearing them. But lately, I've been doing so much walking and listening to books on tape and podcasts and things, and I always have to have a little tiny bottle of water when I walk, so I can wear it around my waist, and it has just, I've just loved it. It has really enhanced my quality of walking, and it's encouraged me to do more of it. It doesn't get hot and sweaty or anything. And this, for a name brand, it was only $38, which I think is a pretty good deal. Don't get it off of Amazon, however, because there's an upcharge on it and it's more expensive. Go to the Lululemon site where there will be free shipping, or we have a store not too far from us. So I think, Stuart, you said you thought most of the equipment you have would fit in this, and I highly recommend this. I also like the fact some of them are canvas and they can kind of bleach out, or when you wash them they can kind of degrade in color, and I like the fact that this doesn't do it. And by the way, they also come in all sorts of different fun colors, in camo and things. I just like the basic black. So this was a little treat to myself, and Stuart, we might need to treat you too. Do I need to treat you to a belly pack?
All the time.
I always need to treat you. Okay, well, that's a good one. Okay, this next one was inspired by something that I saw in an old Martha Stewart magazine, and I had kind of an aha moment, because Stewart has been telling me that I needed one for years, and that is a French press coffee maker. I've gotten one for my kiddos. Stuart has one. I love French press coffee, especially with homemade double chocolate chocolate gelato from the Wedge around the corner from us, Stuart. But primarily, I wanted to do it for infused herbal teas. And I saw this article. I don't know if we can show
sit
that
down
or not.
there.
Okay. I saw this in a Martha Stewart magazine about how she makes different concoctions and herbal infusions with fruits and herbs and vegetables from her garden. And I thought, ooh, that is right up my alley with all of the dill and the rosemary and the different scented basils and scented geraniums and lemon balm. So for that reason, I decided to spring and get one. And I actually haven't even used it yet, and Stuart's going to help me with the kind of the operation of it. I'm sure it's very simple.
It's the only way I make coffee, and it's very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. And Stuart and I, we have a lot of meetings with our little team. We have a lot of meetings over lattes and teas and things like that. So I will be able to add herbal infusions to our repertoire, Stuart.
Indeed.
So I think that will be kind of fun. And Stuart, any of these things that we have links to, we need to make sure that on this one, Stuart's done such a great job of editing lately. And by the way, we're very aware that yesterday's, that was then, this is now, garden video was very, very long. So thank all of you who hung there and watched it. I realize that that's very difficult for lots of you to spend that much time. So either break it up into pieces or by all means just don't watch it at all. It's one of the reasons Stuart and I put together playlists. So if you're very interested in a specific topic or you want to find a specific video, you can go back, say, to the thrifting playlist or to whatever. And as long as I did that little commercial, Stuart, I need to remind everyone that this Wednesday on the Wednesday Walkabout is going to be live in my garden. So grab a glass of wine or some iced tea or a latte, your beverage of choice, and feel free to chat with me as we walk around my garden. We're going to do it at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, at least for this first one, and I want to invite you to join in the fun. That way there will be someone there who will be reading the questions that you pose, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them in real time. So if you can join us, I hope you will. This next thing is also kind of an extension of something that I have showed you before, and probably the favorite thing I have ever shown on my channel, or the most purchased item, and that is this Lash Essence Mascara. That is absolutely, it is just brilliant. I love it. I haven't talked to anyone who has not said it's the best mascara that they've ever used. It's cruelty-free, it's vegan, and it is very, very inexpensive. I can get this. It's the only thing on Amazon that I buy, subscribe, and save to, because I don't want to have to go back in there and keep replenishing it manually. They will just automatically send me one. So, because I loved this so much, when I saw that some drugstores, my CVS, was starting to carry the line, I thought, well, maybe I just need to treat myself and replace some of my makeup, because it was, you know, you're supposed to replace your makeup, I think, for hygienic purposes, maybe every 6 months or something like that. So I decided to do that, and I thought I would try out some of the other things in their line to see if they were as wonderful as the mascara. Now, this was a pretty high bar to meet. So while I wouldn't say any of them lived up to this in terms of performance, I will say that for the price point and for the products that I tried, they were wonderful and they were worth every single penny. So what were they? Okay, number one, there was another kind of mascara called What the Fake, and I tried it and I liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as this one, but nevertheless, it was kind of fun for me to try and compare. You might like this one better. I also tried their blush, their Mosaic blush. Again, all of these things were very, very inexpensive. And I have used really expensive blushes in the past. This one was not expensive at all, and I absolutely loved it. It reminds me a little bit of, Stuart, this will fascinate you. It reminded me a little bit of the NARS brand and the color called Orgasm that you can get at Sephora. But this one is, all you need is pink, and I really like it. And it is in a good size, and I like the intensity of the color. It's much more deeply, it's a deeper hue that doesn't immediately come off when you then powder your nose. So I really loved that. Another product that I tried was their pencil, their eye pencil, and I've got it on right now. I love it. Now, in retrospect, I got this in black, and I probably would have liked it better in a smoky gray, but again, for I think it was about $4. Wonderful. Stayed on every bit as well as other waterproof brands that I've tried that are a lot pricier. So I really love it. Okay, the only product in their line that I would say wasn't great, or I just thought it was unnecessary, was their Volume Booster Lash Primer. And I just thought it was really unnecessary. I just thought it was an extra step, and none of us have time to spend precious seconds even on things that aren't that effective. And I just find that the mascara does a good enough job. So Stuart, let's put up the links to these, because a lot of people don't have it at their local drugstore, but I highly recommend all of these. And speaking of makeup and powdering your nose, if you have not tried, especially in the summertime where we all get oily and shiny, if you have not tried the Maybelline Fit Me, it's called Matte and Poreless powder, it is wonderful. I love it. I probably, in retrospect, this is what I wear in the winter, and it's the translucent, and I might have tried for the summer a color that's a little bit darker, but I absolutely love it. It does what it says. It makes your skin look poreless, and again, very, very inexpensive. This is a Maybelline product. Okay, so that is my whole category of refreshing your makeup during the summer season. And if you need to, always replenish your supply of sunscreen and any other kind of sun protection that you use in the winter time or in the summertime. Okay, my next one is a fun idea that my friend Deborah gave me. She always has just wonderful ideas. And that, she said, when you go places, no matter where it is. In this case, it's a really popular downtown lunch place that she and I like to go, Kitchen 324, and they have postcards there that come with your check. A lot of places have postcards or fun business cards or fun matches. Like my favorite nursery down the street, A Date with Iris, they have just really darling matchbooks. So as you go places, whether you're just doing a staycation and you're staying in your own city or you're going out of town, I think it's fun to collect these little memory mementos from places that you go and then actually using them. So these I got, and to my kiddos that are up in Denver, even my son in Singapore, I think I'm going to write on these. Said, oh, just had lunch at this fun place with my friend Deborah. That will give them idea of some of the stuff that I'm doing this summer. It's just a little touch point. And some of them, I like to get them from the Museum of Art because they've got wonderful ones there. Stuart, what other places are a really good source for interesting postcards?
I would have said museum, so you took that one.
If you're in Oklahoma City and you like Susu, you probably have friends that are docents and things at the Oklahoma Cowboy Museum, any places like that. Yeah, the Round Barn, all sorts of different places that you might frequent, or if you're say going down to a state park or something. And in the information center, they probably have postcards. And I think that's just a really fun thing to do, and especially if they're inspiring in any way, because some of them in Oklahoma will have photographs of, say, Indian art or really special natural touchstones in Oklahoma that'll have that beautiful red rock, things like that. It might inspire a color palette or something. So that's a really inexpensive thing to do for you as an adult, but also I think for your kiddos to do. So if you're traveling anywhere, always be on the lookout for these kind of things. If you put together a summer scrapbook, again, whether it's a staycation or you're going someplace, then look for those kind of interesting things that you find. We did that when we took our kids to Rome, and any kind of things like this, labels off of pop bottles, labels off of wine bottles, interesting little things that they might find in the cobblestones, things like that, candy wrappers. We put them all in a scrapbook, and it was just a wonderful way to indulge your senses and enhance an experience because you're on the lookout for charming things. I think that's a really fun idea. Okay, Stuart, I'm going to have to reference my list of things that were charming so I wouldn't forget. And by the way, I keep these in my notes app on the phone. Oh, this one will cost you nothing, but I have been telling Stuart and Susu about something that I've been watching. I think it's on Netflix. It might be on Amazon Prime. It's called The Gilded Age. It's wonderful. It's produced and directed by, what's his name? Marion Fellows or whoever did Downton Abbey. And it's about the Gilded Age in the United States. And it is just absolutely transportive. You can live at a different time in a different place. Again, it is eye candy. It's fun to look at different kind of aesthetic overtones in how things were done then. As a sociological essay, it's really fun to watch. So if you haven't watched it yet, it is something fun to do. And I also think it's really fun to do with someone you know who will enjoy it equally as much as you do. So sometimes I will watch those things while I'm talking to one of my sisters, and we'll watch it simultaneously and we'll kind of visit about it, and we will share certain points of reference or things like that. Another thing that I think is just a fun little guilty indulgence is to sometimes, again, I do this with my sister sometimes, that we'll get on the phone and we will shop together on a site. And my sister Megan and I did this yesterday. I am absolutely obsessed with the Banana Republic site this year. I love the aesthetics of it. It's got my look, the kind of things that I just adore. I think of my look as kind of garden safari, and anyhow, if you haven't checked it out, then do that. That's another little guilty pleasure. Whether you buy from it or not, it will give you wonderful styling ideas, and my sister and I had a lot of fun doing that. Something else that I'm doing this summer as just kind of a fun thing is I'm trying to once a week have lunch with someone that I don't always see in my regular rotation. So I had lunch last week with a friend of mine at Kitchen 324. This week, Stuart, I'm going to have lunch next week, I'm going to have lunch with Natalie Kent. Oh, cool. She is the wonderful graphic artist that did the animation that's at the beginning that Stuart, or I should say the illustration, the house illustration that's on my business cards that Stuart so brilliantly animated. Absolutely love her. She's one of the coolest women I know, and I love the fact that I'm fortunate enough to have women in all sorts of different generations. So not only do I go out to lunch with one friend per week I haven't seen for a while, but I try to go someplace I haven't been before for lunch. So I'm going to have to get some ideas from you, Stuart, on some new and hip lunch places that we might want to go to. So that's a really, really fun idea. Okay, my last, I don't know how many that was. I didn't even try to do a countdown because I just had a number of them, and always I'm throwing in some extras. Okay, my last thing that I absolutely love, let me pick up my mic that's now tucked underneath my dress, is I think I mentioned earlier in the season how much I am loving lightweight, loose house dresses these days. And I found one in Santa Fe that was linen, and I found this one online. I love it so much that I got it in black, and I also got it in kind of a bone color. And I love it because I can work out in the yard in it. I can run to the grocery store in it. It has pockets, which I just love. You can jazz it up or jazz it down with some fun earrings. I wear it a lot with my straw white hat with the black band. Stuart, we need to put a link to that because it just kind of elevates your look. I can wear it with sandals. I can wear it with just almost anything, and it is just, I just love it. And it's that kind of house dress vibe that I'm really into this summer. And then, Stuart, I'm going to come over here. Let me navigate over here. Also as part of my ensemble. They are so popular this summer. And that is these are called, what was the brand, Susu? It was called, I remember, Comfort something, but they're also called Cloud Sandals. I have 2 pair of these, and they are like walking on clouds. Now, Stuart observed that they're made out of what, Stuart?
Well, it's very much like the stuff, the standing mats. Like I have one at my standing desk. So, just that cushiony feeling that's so nice to walk on. People put them in front of their sinks. It's basically shoes, so everywhere you step.
Yeah, and it feels like you're walking on a cloud. So these are so popular. I got 2 pair of them. I did buy a pair for Stuart, but he gave me the wrong size.
Well,
So I have to get another pair in black for him. But he, when he tried it, he loved them so much. So then I got a pair for Hubs. Hubs, absolutely, he has been in nothing but these cloud sandals since then. But obviously they're great because they're lightweight, they're easy to pack, they're waterproof, they're grunge proof. And so I bought 2 pair, one that I wear outside and this pair that I wear inside that I can slip on and off. And I put them in that category of that they're so ugly, they're cute. They're kind of like Birkenstocks in that way. And then when I was at the Paseo Art Festival yesterday, I think this is another way to treat yourself. And that's whenever you go to an art festival and there's local artisans or whatever, buy yourself a treat if you can afford it, whether it's expensive or not. And I loved this bag. I love how soft it is to carry. It's like carrying a pillow, and it doesn't at all cut into your shoulder. Anyhow, it's lightweight. I love it, and it's got that kind of bohemian vibe that I really, really like. So have I forgotten anything, Stuart? If you don't have something like that, then also I got this bag online. I think it was from Walmart. And it was all of $12, and it's crazy, and it really elevates your look, and I think it's very, very cute. And if it's still available, I got this last season.
Very Linda.
It is very Linda. For a while, I had this next to my bed with my nighttime things. We did a video on that, and I switched that basket out for another one so I could carry this.
And that's a fun thought.
This summer.
We hear about people tell us that in the comments sometimes, like how they incorporate thinking about how you would look at something if you were there. I do the same thing everywhere I go. That's
really?
a Linda thing, or that's Linda would, that's something Linda would like, or that's what Linda would do, or it's going on in my head too.
I think that the ultimate compliment you can give someone is to see something that's preferably attractive, and to tell someone, oh, that is so you. That is so you. So interestingly, when we were at the art festival yesterday, and I got this bag, I ran into a follower, now friend, and she saw me there and said hello, and she said, oh my gosh, I saw that, and at the time when I saw it before you bought it, I thought that is so you. So there's another little way to indulge yourself. Make somebody happy and say, oh, that is so you. When I saw it, it made me think of you. So it's just kind of a fun little summer thing. Stuart, any other fun little guilty indulgences, guilty treats, guilty pleasures?
The outfit du jour into the video today, guys.
Okay, yeah. So that's my outfit du jour. Oh, except for here's my other
did forget
thing.
something. I'm
I
so used to
love
finding
these.
out.
I'm really into natural materials in my jewelry right now, and these are bone handcrafted by women in Africa, and I just love them. And I'll put the link to these too and they're very lightweight, by the way, you guys. They're very, very lightweight. So there you go. There are my guilty pleasures, some ideas for ways for you to perhaps enhance the enjoyment of your summer, and my outfit of the day, all in one fell swoop. You guys have a great weekend.